Mindful stretching. This session is one in a series of videos exploring ways of looking after our mental health and well-being that have been produced at the Wellbeing College at Health and Mind. If you would like to contact us, please use the details visible on the screen now. This session is funded by the Scottish Borders Joint Health Improvement Team programme called United to Prevent Suicide. In this video, we will talk about what mindful stretching is and what benefits it has. And there will be an offering of mindful stretches in two sequences. The first one you can do whilst lying down, and the second one you can do whilst seated. Before we begin, please remember that this is a short introductory session. Mental health can be a sensitive subject. Please be kind to yourself. If at any point you feel affected by the content of this video, remember you can pause or stop the video at any time. For details of where you can access help now, you can visit our website at the address visible on the screen now. Please note that this video has been created for the general public and it is not a form of treatment for any particular conditions or concerns. We are unable to provide any personalized advice in relation to this video. If you have any physical or mental health concerns, we recommend that you contact your doctor. Please watch this video through before you decide if you would like to participate in the exercises offered here and to see if you have enough space to do them safely. If you find these exercises too demanding or uncomfortable at any time, please remember you can take a break or stop the video. By engaging in this video, you confirm that you assume all risks for any physical, mental, or emotional consequences to yourself. Mindful stretching. Introduction. Hello everybody, my name is Anna and I work at Health and Mind. I also teach yoga and I'm quite passionate about body-oriented approaches to healing and developing a greater sense of well-being. In this video, we will focus on mindful stretching. Mindful stretching is a way of moving our bodies where we pay attention to our body sensations and to the ways we relate to these sensations with our minds. We will emphasize awareness of the effect of movement on our bodies and our minds, rather than trying to do a pose in a certain way or give a performance. This way we can learn more about our bodies, recognize their needs and accept our own limits. Mindful movement can also provide us with an opportunity to observe the habitual patterns of our minds. Tendencies like striving or competing with other people or even ourselves. Mindful stretching can also be helpful if we find ourselves in the vicious cycle of unhelpful thoughts and challenging feelings. If we find ourselves in that headspace, we can always remind ourselves that we have the choice to shift the focus of our attention to our bodies and with curiosity and kindness to observe how these thoughts and feelings affect our bodies. Because it is often the case that our thoughts either take us to the past or to the future, but our body sensations are always in the here and now. By connecting with them, we can feel more centered and grounded in the present moment. Practicing mindful awareness of our internal processes can have a soothing effect on the sympathetic nervous system, the branch of our nervous system that is responsible for the stress response. This can have a calming, relaxing effect, and it can provide us with a broader perspective over our experience, from where we might be able to see more clearly what options we have available in terms of how to respond to what's happening, rather than snapping at someone or reacting in other habitual ways that might no longer serve us. In this video, I will guide you through a series of mindful stretches in 2 sequences, lying down and seated. Before we begin, I would like to encourage you to honor your needs and prioritize your safety throughout this video. Please remember that my guidance is just an invitation, so you're welcome to not do the exercises at all, or maybe pausing or stopping halfway through any of them, or ending the video entirely at any point. If you would like to join me, things that might come in handy are a yoga mat or a blanket to lie on, a couple of pillows or a yoga bolster, and a chair. We will begin with a lying down sequence. Exercises you can do whilst lying down. Welcome to the lying down sequence. I'm lying on my yoga mat. You're welcome to use one as well, or you can use a blanket as well, or anything else that you would like to use for cushioning. And worth having a couple of pillows handy, and we might need them for one of the stretches. Finding a comfortable position on your back. You're welcome to have your knees bent and your feet planted onto the ground, or you can have your legs straight. If you're not sure what option to go for, you're welcome to try both and choose one that's more comfortable or more accessible for you right now. I find it when my knees are bent, it's a bit more comfortable for my lower back, so I'm going to keep my legs like this. I'm spending a few moments to transition from the habitual mode of doing into a mode of being. If that's comfortable for you, you can close down your eyes. Perhaps taking a few deeper breaths, exploring a sense of lightness on every inhale and a sense of grounding and weight on every exhale. Becoming aware of the points of your body that are in contact with the floor, and exploring any sensations in those areas of your body. When you're ready, bringing your right knee towards your chest with your right knee bent, and hugging your right knee in towards your chest. You're welcome to use your hands to encourage your right knee to travel a little bit closer to your chest. And holding your knee this way, exploring any sensations that are associated with this stretch. Where in your body is the movement manifesting? Probably in your right hip. But also, what other muscles are involved in this stretch. Muscles in your hands, in your arms and shoulders. So exploring how the breath might be changing the position of your right knee. Is there any difference in the position of your right knee when you breathe in compared to when you breathe out? Bringing your leg straight with your foot towards the ceiling. You can experiment with how high you want your leg to be and the difference in your body as well when it's trying to accommodate the stretch. And pointing your toes towards the ceiling, bringing your toes towards your torso, and moving your right foot in a circular motion, switching directions. And when you're ready, lowering your right foot down, planting it onto the ground, and exploring any sensations in your legs that are left from the movement. Perhaps your right leg feels a bit different to the left one, having done some movement. But it's also possible that you might not experience any difference. And switching sides now, bringing your left knee towards your chest and gently hugging your left knee. Exploring the sensations in your left hip and anywhere else in your body where you might feel the movement is showing. Again, checking how the position of your knee might be affected by your breath. On an in-breath and on an out-breath. Straightening your left leg. Again, you can see how high you want your leg to be. And also, when you make a decision, observing what you have taken into account when making that choice. Is it because you want to prove something to yourself, or is it maybe informed by your need to take care of yourself? And pointing your toes away from your torso and bringing your toes towards your chest. Exploring how different it might feel in your leg depending on the position of your toes. And circling your left foot in one direction and changing directions if you would like. And lowering your left foot down, having both feet planted onto the ground. Pausing here again and tuning into what's coming up in your body after this movement. You might also become aware of any changes in your heartbeat or in your breath as well. And now now we're going to do a banana shape, half of a banana shape with our torsos. If you would like to join me in this, having your knees bent and feet planted onto the ground, sweeping your arms overhead and placing them loosely overhead if this is accessible to you. Gently walking your head and your shoulders, your arms to one side. I'm starting with my right side. And when I reach a point that I would like to explore a bit further, feel some stretch on the left side of my torso, through my shoulder and along my left arm. I'm pausing here to explore the stretch a little bit more. Breathing into the stretch, breathing into the area that I feel the stretch in the most. It might be helpful that if you notice any tension, any holding and tightness in this position, be sending your breath to that area, allowing it to gently expand on an in-breath and release some tension on an out-breath. Might be helpful. Observing as well what your mind is doing, how it's responding to this stretch. If you're finding this a bit uncomfortable, challenging, observing how your mind responds to that. And of course, as at any point of this sequence, you are more than welcome to come out of it at any point. If you're still in the shape, coming back to center with your head and your arms, your shoulders, so that your head is aligned with your pelvis. And going on to the other side, in my case it's my left side. And pausing here, exploring the sensations in your body that are associated with the movement, with the stretch. Scanning your body for any areas of tightness and tension. And inviting the breath to travel into those areas of tension, bringing some expansion and allowing them to release some of that tightness on an out breath. An audible out breath with a sigh, always welcome if you find it helpful. And when you're ready, coming back to center and bringing your arms back to have them along your torso. And gently lifting your pelvis just a little bit off the floor. Shifting your pelvis to the left, to the right, and placing it back down. Lifting up your legs and your knees are bent, and allowing your knees to fold towards the floor, towards your left side. I have my cushions here, just in case your knees don't reach the floor. You're welcome to place your cushions underneath your knees, encouraging your shoulder blades to be placed on the floor. The shape of your right arm could be like mine, which is a cactus shape. I quite like this one because it encourages my right shoulder blade to stay on the floor. But if you don't like this one, you're welcome to place it loosely anywhere else that feels comfortable. And exploring the intensity of the stretch, exploring how it manifests in your body, how your muscles are responding to it. If you notice that you start bracing around the stretch and your muscles go tense, seeing if inviting the breath into that area makes any difference. Coming back up with your knees, shifting your pelvis back to center, pausing for a little bit to explore how your body is feeling, how your mind is feeling, what it's doing. Maybe how your breath has been affected by the movement, if at all. When you're ready, switching sides, I'm going to shift my pillows to my right side, lifting your pelvis up a little bit, shifting it to the left and placing it back down onto the floor. Lifting up your legs, your knees are bent, and allowing your knees to fall towards the floor on your right side. Again, you're welcome to choose the position of your hands and arms. Perhaps having your left arm in a cactus shape might encourage your left shoulder blade to stay on the floor. Or you may want to place your left hand somewhere else. Same with right hand, I quite like placing it on top of my top thigh. But you're welcome to do the same or choose a different position. Noticing where in your body you feel the breath the most in this position. Exploring how many different areas of your body might be involved in this stretch. Where in your body you're feeling the stretch? I feel like quite a lot in the left side of my neck. How is it in your body? How is it for you? And when you're ready, coming back up with your knees, shifting your pelvis back to the central position so that your pelvis is aligned with your head. And pausing here, staying in stillness for a few moments before we end the sequence. You have the option again to either keep your knees bent or have your legs extended. You're welcome to have your feet as wide as you would like. And your arms, your hands in any position that feels comfortable for you. If you would like, you're welcome to close down your eyes or to keep them open. Taking a few moments to allow our bodies to absorb the movement. Observing how the activity of our mind is looking in this moment as well. And when you're ready, bending your knees if your legs were straight. And rolling onto either of your sides. To rest there for a little moment before you guide yourself to a seated position. Coming up to a seated position if you're ready. Thank you for joining me for the lying down sequence. You're welcome to join me for the seated one as well. Exercises you can do while seated. Welcome to the seated sequence. I'm sitting in a chair on an edge of a folded cushion. That's just to tilt my pelvis a little bit so that I'm grounded down through my sitting bones. And so it is up to you if you want to give this a go as well. You can use a blanket instead of a cushion, or you might choose to sit directly on the chair. So finding your comfortable position in your chair, sitting away from the back of the chair so that your spine is self-supporting. Sitting in a position that's both relaxed and alert. Spending a few moments here to allow yourself to arrive and transition into this practice. Checking in with our intentions for the mindful stretching practice, to stay with our body sensations, stay present with them, to observe the habitual patterns of our minds, to take care of our bodies and respond to their needs, honor their limits. And when you're ready, bringing your arms straight in front of you and roughly at the shoulder height so that they're parallel to the floor. And imagining that you have something, you're holding something in your hands. On the next inhale, imagining you're pulling that thing towards you, opening your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades on your back. Exhale, pushing and rounding your spine. Inhale, pulling, opening your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And exhale, pushing and rounding your spine. Inhale, pulling. And exhale, pushing. Doing a few more cycles of this movement in your own rhythm. allowing the pace of your breath to inform the pace of your movement, observing what parts of your body are involved in this movement. Apart from the more obvious ones like your spine and your shoulders, your arms, where else can you feel the movement? Perhaps in your pelvis, perhaps somewhere in your legs, maybe even your feet. And pausing for a little bit, perhaps allowing your hands to rest on your thighs. Exploring the effects of the movement on your body. Perhaps sensations like tingling and pulsing blood, any changes in temperature. It's also possible not to feel much or at all. If that's the case for you, observing how it is, how it feels for you not to feel much. Now bringing your attention to your right shoulder and mobilizing your right shoulder by drawing circles with it, either going back or going forward, or maybe changing directions ever so often. So exploring this movement of rolling your right shoulder. How is it for you just to roll your right shoulder without the left one? Quite an isolated movement. Isolated, but at the same time observing how the rest of your arm perhaps is also involved in this movement. How it's connected. When you're ready, on the next inhale, sweeping your right arm overhead and reaching to the left, bending in your left sideways, leaning to the left. If you want, you can also support yourself by placing your left hand on the side of your chair for stability. And exploring where in your body you feel the stretch the most, perhaps some expansion of the right side of your chest. This could be quite demanding on your right arm, so exploring how it feels. If you notice that you automatically tense some muscles, seeing what happens if you send your breath to those areas of tension, tightness. Breathe into them, allowing them to expand on an inhale, and breathing out from them, allowing them perhaps to release some tension. Inhale, coming back up, and exhale, lowering your right arm down and pausing here for a little bit. If you find it helpful, you're welcome to close down your eyes to limit any distractions, and exploring how perhaps different your right arm might feel compared to the left one. And that's not to judge that it's worse or better. Exploring difference in sensations. It could be that your Your right arm might feel a little bit lighter or heavier to the left one. Maybe it feels a little bit larger or smaller to your left arm. And switching sides, so mobilizing your left shoulder by drawing some circles with it, either going back or forward or changing directions whenever you would like. And again, exploring how this feels on this side of your body. And observing what your mind is doing. It might be that because you know what's coming, you know the order of the instructions or the invitations in this exercise, your mind might feel like, there's not much happening, so it might want to generate some more stimulation if that's what you're used to. It might start creating some stories, or it might start taking you back to the past or to imagining something in the future. If that's the case, you always have the option to bring it back into the here and now by reconnecting with the sensations in your body. On the next inhale, sweeping your left arm up overhead and over to the right. Again, you're welcome to stabilize yourself by placing your right hand on the side of your chair and exploring the stretch on the left side of your body. It might feel totally different to the right side. For me, for example, it feels a bit more intense on this side, so I might want to choose to be more gentle with myself here. And knowing that you can come out of the stretch at any point you want. If you find this pose a bit challenging or a bit uncomfortable, you're welcome to observe how your mind is responding to the discomfort. Maybe it wants to shy away from the stretch, from the discomfort, or maybe quite the opposite. Maybe you're finding yourself wanting to hold this pose for as long as you can, trying to prove something to yourself. If you haven't done so yet, I invite you to lower your left arm down and pausing here again to explore how the movement has manifested in your body. You might feel that your heart is beating a bit faster, maybe not. Perhaps your breathing has changed. And we're going to work with our necks now. Neck is one of the areas in our bodies where some of us tend to hold quite a lot of tension. It might be quite a vulnerable place in our bodies as well if we work at the desk. So please listen to the messages from your body and take care of yourself. Lowering your chin down towards your chest and pausing here for a little bit. Exploring where the movement is having its effect. Perhaps it's in your shoulders or somewhere along your spine, in your back. So exploring if the stretch changes at all depending on what cycle of your breath you're in. Does it feel any different when you inhale compared to when you exhale? When you're ready, rolling your right ear towards your right shoulder, exploring the sensations on the left side of your neck or anywhere else in your body where you might feel it. Coming back to center with your neck lowered to your chest and switching sides, rolling your left ear towards your left shoulder, pausing here, exploring the sensations on the right side of your neck. And if you would like, you can continue coming through the center, going onto the right side with your right ear, roll towards your right shoulder, again coming back to center, and your left ear towards your left shoulder. Coming back to center when you're ready, and coming up, perhaps guiding your head gently with one of your hands back to an upright position. Exploring the sensations in your body after a few movements of your neck. And exploring in general how these few stretches have affected your body. Perhaps even maybe your breathing or maybe even your emotional state. Staying in stillness, more or less, for a few moments, allowing your body to absorb the movement before we end the practice. Before we transition out of the practice, I invite you to, if it feels comfortable, to place one of your hands on your chest and one of your hands on your belly, checking in with your breath, checking in with your heartbeat. Thanking yourself for choosing to spend some time just with yourself and your body, honoring your needs and investing in your well-being. If you're ready, if your eyes were closed, perhaps gently opening them up again. And reconnecting with the space around you, perhaps by looking around and finding familiar objects, familiar shapes and colors, perhaps smells. Thank you very much for watching or practicing with me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Before you return to your everyday activities, we recommend grabbing a glass of water and taking a few minutes just to relax. Please look at our website www.wellbeingcollege.org.uk, where you can register for more of our courses. You can also access more health and well-being resources via the NHS Borders Wellbeing Point. If you would like to send us your feedback, please feel free to do so by sending us an email. Thank you for watching. This session is funded by the Scottish Borders Joint Health Improvement Team programme United to Prevent Suicide.